Here we are, course 3, you guys. I'm excited. We're gonna do a beautiful loin cut pork chop. Left a little bit of fat on there for you guys. It is looking good. And we're gonna sous vide this bad boy. First, we're gonna roll it down into a little bit of 7 spice. This has got a little bit of star anise and cinnamon, garlic. I use chili powder, salt, a little brown sugar. Lots of good flavors. We're gonna make sure we rub this down real good. Lots of seasoning. I really like this cut because it still has some fat on it. I mean, beautiful thing about pork is there can be some really nice lean cuts, but you know, fat's flavor, and I like flavor. Okay, if you guys don't have an immersion circulator, I was going to talk to you guys about sous vide here. I've got those nice and seasoned. If you don't have a bag sealer like me, I don't have a bag sealer, but I have beautiful, gorgeous Ziploc bags. Shout out Ziploc! Freezer bags that I'm just going to set those in. I try and create a little bit of space if I'm doing more than one piece of meat in there. We're going to seal this up most of the way. I'm going to show you guys, this is a great way also to save stuff in the freezer. We're going to show you how to push all the air out of here without using a bag sealer. But if you do this to things that you want to freeze, sauces, soups, meat, things like that, and you actually give it a dip and in hot water and then seal it, when you bring the water all up to here like I'm going to show you, you end up pushing all the air out and you don't have, you know, old frostbite food. But also the way that we want to sous vide is by sealing this bag up so that the water is just touching the plastic around the meat, and we're going to cook it at one temperature straight through 140 degrees till it gets nice and medium. So we leave that bag just slightly open like this. We're going into warm water. This is 140 degree water, and we're just going to gently push that down. The pressure of the water is pushing all the air out, and once it gets right to the top, I've got that sealed. Look at that. Fully sealed, gorgeous, ready to go. And I'm just going to go ahead and leave that in the water. Falls to the bottom just like that. Water, 140 degree water is surrounding it. We're going to leave that for an hour, and it's going to be perfectly cooked all the way through, medium all the way through. So all we have to do is pull it out and sear it in a hot pan. If you don't have an immersion circulator like this, I like to cover this, keep it clean, 140 degrees I have that set at. If you don't have an immersion circulator, but you have a cooler that you trust, that, like say a cooler that you've noticed that can keep ice for 24 hours, 48 hours, that means it holds temperature really well. You can fill that up with 140 degree water. You're gonna have to keep checking it maybe like every 20 minutes or so just to make sure it's maintaining that temperature. But you know, boil a little water, add it to it to maintain that temperature. But you can basically sous vide without an immersion circulator in a cooler like that. I've done it 1,000 times. It's very easy and very cool. All right, we're gonna let that go for an hour. We're gonna get over and make our birthday bacon vinaigrette on the stove and get this stuff seared up, sear up some bok choy, and we have a beautiful dish with a little bit of carrot curried puree. It's gonna be delicious. Let's get over and do it. Let's go. We've got our beautiful pork chop that has sat for an hour in 140 degree water it's in sous vide, basically cooked in a bag, a little bit of spice, and we're ready to go here. If you are picking this up from O'Brien's, one way to do it, you're going to have this cold, already sealed, already cooked. The way to get this going before you sear is to get that going in as hot a water as your sink will go. Let that sit for about 10 minutes just to kind of wake it up and get it going, and you're good to go, because we're still going to sear this for about 2 minutes on each side. I like to pat these kind of dry. That spice has worked its way into the meat, and it's gorgeous right now. I just pat those dry on a little bit of paper towel. Boom, boom, boom. It is cooked perfectly 140 degrees all the way through, and it is going to be gorgeous and ready to go. We're going to get this searing in this beautiful cast iron skillet. Going to get that seared and get that caramelization Maillard on each side. We're going to pull that out. We're going to get our bok choy rolling, and we're also going to warm up our curried carrot puree. After all that, again, I like to do lots of things in one pan. using all those flavors, we're going to make our mirin birthday bacon vinaigrette to go on top. It's going to be a really delicious dish. We're going to have so much flavor. That 7-spice pork chop, the curried carrot puree, the bok choy for some kind of crunch and a little bit of green, and then that vinaigrette on top with the birthday bacon is going to be ridiculous. We have the pan nice and hot. We are good to go. We're going to sear these for about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes on each side. Push down a little bit. Oh my gosh. Right out the gate, I can smell the spice and brown sugar popping off. So there's going to be these beautiful caramelized sweet bites. Be so good, guys. I'm going to put a tiny bit of oil in the pan, and I'm going to get the bok choy going at the same time. Baby bok choy, just kind of cut those in half. Boom. And I'm going to put those cut side down. And when I turn them, and I'll salt them when I turn them. Cut side down. They're so freaking cute. How'd you guys get so cute? Little baby bok choy. So good. I'll put a little bit of salt on those now just to get one side rocking. I like pepper too. Boom, boom. Cut some shallot earlier for our vinaigrette that we're going to rock out after this. Do a little cleanup. At the same time, I'm going to go ahead and put on my back burner here. And while that pan's cold, I'll put my carrot curried puree in there. This is basically the simplest recipe ever. Your favorite curry, chopped carrots, all about the same size, and about a half an onion. Just saute it together for a little while, then you add a little bit of miso stock. So like you could use vegetable stock, chicken stock, or take miso and make a little stock out of that, and basically cook that down till the carrots are tender, and then you pull that into a blender with cold butter and just whip it up. It's like 4 ingredients and just whipped up, and it is so delicious, so silky. The cold butter kind of makes it, it's like mousse. It whips up, it almost has airiness to it, and mousse. See that catch? Smooth dog. Okay, I'm gonna grab my tongs real quick. We got about 1.5 minutes in right now on the pork chop. We have our puree starting to warm up. You guys are gonna fall in love with that puree. It's so simple, it's so good. And it's gonna be a really nice complement to our vegetables and our pork chop going right here. This is just like so simple. We've had everything done. Our pork is sous vide. All those flavors have worked in. We've warmed it up just a little bit. We're now looking to caramelize and just get some nice, beautiful color on the chop itself. All of that good caramelization is going to leave something behind for us to add shallots and garlic and our rice wine vinegar and a little bit of mirin and sugar to create this glaze. Birthday bacon. Pork on pork love right now. Birthday bacon on a pork chop? Holy cow. Alright, I'm going to take a look. Stupid good right there. Holy cow. Both those are looking awesome. Oh, the bok choy's got beautiful caramelization going too. You guys, there's going to be so many layers of beautiful flavor here. Don't forget to season as we go. Vegetables don't need a lot. Vegetables, once they get seared, caramelized, put out some incredible sweetness themselves. So a little salt and pepper is really all they need. Oh my gosh, it smells so good in here. And I like to leave my bok choy a little bit crunchy. So you get char, but you also get this fresh veg crunch as well. Boom, we are literally done. Remember, we sous vide this. It's already cooked all the way through, 140 degrees. Beautiful medium. And all we're looking to do is sear up, get that fat rolling a little bit, and we're good to go. I'm pulling this off. Pulling this off in about 30 more seconds is what I meant. Caramelization on both sides is key. But literally done in 4 minutes. This would have taken probably 10, and you're not quite sure if you would have gotten it, fully done and right. That's what sous vide comes in and helps out quite a bit. I've taken birthday bacon, we've created some little lardons, so just kind of cut it into cubes. Gonna let that render a little bit. Turn the heat down just a touch. I'm gonna take about half these shallots in there as well. And we used the scallion tops earlier, the green part for a dish, so I thought, hey, we should probably use the white bottoms, which have a little bit more oniony punch to them, and add that in there as well, so we're using as much as possible. We're gonna get that bacon going. If you guys haven't had birthday bacon, I'm sorry. I am gonna post a recipe on how to make it, but we've done it for 10 years at the pub. It's on the menu all the time, and it is so good. People love it. It has been a part of every single beer dinner for the past 10 years at the pub. 10 years, about 12 beer dinners a year. That's 120 birthday bacon dishes that I've come up with over the last decade, which is incredible. This has actually won some beautiful awards as well, birthday bacon at the San Diego Bacon Fest. So good. Okay, we've got our shallots, our green onion, cooked down just a hair. I like a little crunch. Once again, it doesn't have to get brown and caramelized. We're going to add our vinegar and our mirin. A little bit of sugar. About a tablespoon of sugar. Dude, okay, so all of that porky goodness, all that caramelization, sugar, and spices are still in that pan coming up right now. We've added our sugar, our vinegar, our mirin. I'm turning this off because basically our glaze is done. That easy, that quick. This is going to be so delicious. Let's go plate. Our carrot curried puree is ready to go. Everything's cooked. We got that done in like 5 minutes, guys. Let's go plate up. Woo! Plating course 3, here we go. We have our beautiful pork chop that we spiced. We sous vide for about an hour, 140 degrees in sous vide. We have seared that in our beautiful cast iron skillet, created some great caramelization as you can see, and then we have our bok choy that we cooked at the same time. We just halved and cooked that, a little salt and pepper, beautiful. We then took that pan, once cooking all those ingredients, added our birthday bacon, shallot, a little bit of the white parts of scallions chopped up, a little bit of rice wine vinegar, mirin, and a touch of sugar, and we've created a beautiful bacon glaze, like warm vinaigrette to go on top of our pork chop. We have our curried carrot puree. Like I said, super easy ingredients, super easy way to cook. We're not treating this as much like we would mashed potatoes or rice. We're treating this kind of like a second sauce of sorts. So we're gonna take some of that and we're gonna give it the old swoosh, the old Dufresne swoosh. Boom, give it some nice color on the plate. It's beautiful right there. We're gonna take our pork chop. I like this one. This is Daddy's cut right there. Boom. Gorgeous down the middle. We're gonna layer, give you guys a look at this. Boom. 3 of those bad boys. Gorgeous. And then our vinaigrette with the birthday bacon lardon. I'm going to take some of that and just kind of go right there. Oh my gosh, you guys. That mirin, that rice wine vinegar, the bacon, the shallot, the green onion, curried carrot puree. This right there and Pliny the Elder from Russian River, I think will make a fantastic pairing. That assertive yet balanced double IPA that is so famous across the United States and the world, from the Trelurzo family up at Russian River. Awesome beer, legendary brewers. I think a great combination with sweet, acidity, spice, fat. It's going to be just a home run right there. And I'm excited for you guys to try this. Pork chop, sous vide, Chinese 7 spice, birthday bacon. Oh, I can't believe this. Here we go. Let's mac down on that.